I've been all around the world trying to find something new. Lord knows that something was you. 'Cause I found in myself the one thing that's true.
Hey there, viewers, fans, and subscribers all the same, and welcome back to the next podcast session here relevant to the journeys on Transformers for GameFAQs.com. Join with me here is actually an old-time player relevant to the other side of the fence from the Xbox and Microsoft outline here. What's your name here?
I'm well known on the Xbox community as Navox or Fire. So if you want, you can just call me Fire.
Oh, wow, okay.
Fyre.
Navox?
Yes, Navox. Navox. I'm more known by those gamer tags in the community, as well as Mr. Black Dawn.
Okay, I'm gonna have to probably text me those names so that way I can tag the name, because that might be pretty iconic. I don't think I've heard that name before. Let me see. So, how you doing today for the holiday seasons?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'd say I've been doing pretty good. Sitting back and enjoying a lot of the stuff that's going on in the year. The end of the 2017 tournament for the clans over here on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 is finished up, and so now we're just waiting for the final match. It's going to happen around December 29th, December 30th or so.
Oh man, it's so cool how you guys are still playing. Like, how many players do you really have on there, like, playing daily?
I want to say, in addition to the German and the UK players, I want to say there's approximately about, like, known players. I want to say about 20 to 30 of them on, and maybe a few of them are
Okay.
on. A few of them are on and off that just show up here and there for like the big events, and only when like the interest strikes, they'll pop it back. They'll pop the disc back in and just pop a few games, and then hop on over to PlayStation 4 or back to PS3. Tomato, tomato.
Hmm. Sounds pretty active over there.
How is it over there on the Xbox version? How active is the community over there?
I mean, I stopped playing like a year ago, but like the last time I visited was probably 6 months ago, and it's just been littered by modders and whatnot, considering it's so easy to mod the Xbox. But like, it's pretty much all the good players have left, and now it's just new people coming in, and it's just such a weird experience going back. But pretty much everyone has left the Xbox community, including myself.
This actually sounds like the same story right now that had happened recently with War for Cybertron on PlayStation 3, because it took a pretty huge beating with the hackers and imitation hackers, the glitchers, the lag switchers, and then suddenly for a brief instance it went to a brief era of modding that thankfully stopped before it got the ball rolling, but in some sense it was the last nail in the coffin that somewhat killed the gameplay. And me and my friends spent like a huge amount of time trying to slowly bring that gameplay back, because it was a good game that we just didn't want to see die because of the ignorance of the community, or the ignorance of the choices that people made that didn't think about it at that point. In introducing something so irresponsibly known in an environment where people would use it bluntly or blatantly without thinking about the consequences, and it drove away the older competition where they don't want to play the game anymore, and new people that might pick it up every once in a blue moon that could see a new era of gameplay don't want to pick it up because they don't want to deal with the dumb shit.
That's the complete opposite on the 360. WC died about, I would want to say pretty much WC on Xbox died 3 years ago. The modding got so bad where people uploaded files on Modio, which Modio is a public a software you can download, and you can just plug it in your Xbox and boom, you got the mod. So pretty much everyone had mods, but the mods weren't that strong where if you were a good legit player, you could kill them instantly. But there was the people who made the mods were getting better and better mods. They kept like digging into coding and whatnot, and it wasn't hard to code, to be honest. It's hex code, so it's not that hard to mess with. But like, it died pretty quick, and it was kind of sad for that to see, because back in my day when I was playing legit all the time with like other competitors, tryhards and whatnot, there'll always be a modder like every 20 games, and that's pretty rare. Really, now you go into it, there's modders everywhere. They just chill out, hang out. It's their little community now. I would call this like the modding era, considering if you don't have mods, then you're pretty much worthless to the community now. That's how diverse the gameplay is now. You need mods.
Oh, okay, I got you. It introduced an era where modding is now an adapted norm in that community.
Yeah, it's normal to have mods, and I won't lie. I had mods as well. I made my own mods, considering the community was adapting. But I've always played legit around legit players because I've always had respect around legit players. But I always played with mods against modding players, and there was a lot of beef. There was a lot of drama in the modding community, and it was insane, to be honest, on how the legit clans would go against the modding clans. It was just so much drama and whatnot.
Oh boy, oh man, there was a big controversy not that long ago about that exact same thing that had happened in the PlayStation 3, oh boy. Because it was a clan full of known modders that wanted to try and jump shift over on the FOC bandwagon and be a legitimate clan, knowing that all of their past track records have not been the cleanest in the community. And they wanted to try and just all of a sudden go cold turkey and be a legit clan. No, that didn't fly.
That same thing on here on the FOC community. I had a clan on FOC that I made called the Dawns, because that's when I got my name, Mr. Black Dawn. And the modding community on WC tried to get on FOC, but basically what we did in my clan, we kept joining their games, their public games, and kept messing them up, because they didn't have good mods back then. All they did was had colors and was a second ability, so we can have two abilities in one gun. Because honestly, mods on FOC are just terrible in general. You're better off going legit than anything. So it was not in their favor.
If I may...
And they...
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
And then they eventually backed off and they went on WC and TF3 because they destroyed TF3 and they were destroying and uncoding FOC and WC to the brim because they were going on PC, Xbox, going back and forth trying to figure out codes and mods and how to, do this and that. But yeah.
Wow. If I may, how bad was the modding over there? Because from what I've seen over here with the modding files and programs that I've been studying over here with the adaptations that were made on FOC and WFC, and briefly on Dark of the Moon, it looks like you could hold approximately 5 to 6, or all in some cases almost 7 different types of files or equipment things at one time.
You mean perks on WFC?
Yeah, like perks and weapons. You could multitask several of them in one sitting.
Oh boy, let me tell you, you can have the max of 90 or 100 or 200 if you want.
Jeez!
It gotten so bad that even as a legit player myself, I said to myself, I'll never use mods, right? Everyone said that. But I started using mods. Every legit player on WC started using mods. There was a friend, because I had a clan on WFC that had mostly legit players but also some modders, and they showed me how to mod. There was this one mod that came out which was like super classified, but the friend told me how to do it. basically, what it does is if you're the host of the game, on WC, host advantages is a thing, but there's another host advantage with the mod. If you're the host, and if you spawn in with that particular class, no one can see you, and no one can touch you. Your character doesn't even pop up on the scoreboard. Same with your kills or deaths, they don't pop up, and you can do whatever you want, to be honest. You're just invisible, and no one can, like, the only way someone can tell if you're there is if they actually somehow feel you for the game. But it was a super overpowered mod that everyone was abusing, so some person made a counter mod where it froze the host.
I was
I'm
just
not gonna
about
say
to
the
ask that.
file. I'm not gonna say the name of it, but like
Oh,
the
no,
coding
no,
of
you're
it.
good.
But like, it's pretty easy to make it, and everyone kept freezing the host. We had a freezing host era where everyone, like, it would be dangerous to be a host because everyone would freeze you all the time.
That's one of the rarest ones I've seen, because there's only one modder I've seen, or a fake modder over here, that had done that once before when he was losing real bad, and then suddenly my whole thing shut down. Like, I actually had to shut my system off, and I was like, what the hell just happened here? Until I talked with somebody that knew behind the scenes, that doesn't play the game anymore, but knew about that exact type of program, what happened. And what happened is that it did a system freeze. I never
Yeah, it
knew there
was.
was a mod or any type of modded profile or program that could be that powerful to just do a complete shutdown of another person's console. That's just such a needlessly overpowered, like, mod.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. It, the mods on WC were insane. Everyone used them. The colors. I think the best thing about the mods were the colors, because you know how you have your red and purple
And then the Autobot
glow
colors
things
on
on
the
WC.
the Autobot colors on the
Yeah,
Decepticons, and Decepticon colors on the Autobots.
yeah, but like you could make those into anything. You can make it to yellow, greenish yellow, brown, black. It was so pretty, to be honest. It was so vibrant to see all these cool colors.
They are
But
nice.
like the mods are super overpowered. There was this what's his name? He's pretty popular on Xbox and PS3 now. In the PlayStation and Xbox community. His name is KGTR. You can look up his channel. I'm not giving a shout out considering that he's kind of a douche. But
Okay.
basically on WSC that on escalation he can be the berserker. Is it called the berserker? The big tank on wave 15. He can become that in escalation.
On WC or FOC?
WSC.
Oh, those are not berserkers. Those are tanks, I believe.
Yeah, tanks. He can become that in escalation.
Jeez.
He also found a way on FOC where he can fly as a character, and he has ability. He has a shockwave ability on FOC now, which is an instant kill. He put a shockwave ability. You know the shockwave ability in the campaign before FOC.
Yes.
He used it against me in multiplayer, and that's an instant kill. No matter what class you are, that's an instant click kill.
Gee, that's
No matter what. He also made it where where he had 1,000 health as well, which is kind of ridiculous. And you might be thinking, well, is it going to happen to your community or whatnot? Well, apparently the only way he's able to do it because he has a modded Xbox.
Well, people can find a way to do it over here on the system, because it's called jailbroken PlayStations.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's the same thing as Xbox Horizon, where you switch files and whatnot. Or am I wrong?
I believe you may be
I know
correct.
nothing.
I believe you may be correct, because a jailbroken PS3 is just what allows it basically turns it into like a full-blown computer of sorts, where you can have easier access of transferring files.
Yeah, same thing over here. But the way he does it, he doesn't use Xbox Horizon or whatnot, or use hex coding. He uses C+ coding in order to get to the deeper stuff, which no one else really has. So he's pretty special with his mods, but I just hope no one else gets them. But mods are, I'm really surprised to hear that your community on WSC and FOC aren't littered with mods because we had clans dedicated to mods and clan fights only dedicated to mods and 1v1s only dedicated to mods, you know? Like back in my day, you would when you said 1v1, you were thinking of a legit 1v1.
Right.
When you say 1v1 now, it's a modded 1v1.
That's completely
There's no skill.
different.
There's no skill.
Well, I won't lie, there are a few channels here or there, but they're very rare that do still do WFC one-on-ones. Like, it might come up once in a blue moon. But yeah, there are modded one-on-ones. What it is I do, though, and what it is I've been promoting, there was, like I said, there was an era in WFC's community for, like, maybe 4 or 5 months where the gameplay was just totally dead. Because it would be nothing but people running around with mods, and then legit players that are trying to get good, you just keep trolling them and destroying them. But you don't. But you have some type of stupid ass peace treaty with other modders or whatever, until behind the scenes when you guys can go for broke. When it was stressed by a lot of legit players at one point, just do that behind the scenes overall. But you got half of them that just don't give a damn or didn't care to a point of trying to save or salvage and respectfully play what you love playing. You just want to just continue to desecrate it further. And then what me and my friends did, a couple old schoolers that still do play here and now, Cybertron 555 and A111-222-3323. We had started a WFC restoration project in order to try and slowly, not so much kick the modders off the grid, but to slowly try to educate them on what type of damage that you're really doing and having your senseless fun on this grid. We're not saying that you can stop, but we're saying that you need to be a lot more respectful and responsible with the unknown power that you have. Because if you're wondering why the gameplay is so boring, that's why.
Yeah. But, yeah, it sounds like the mods over there are pretty weak, and it's pretty good that you guys are doing that, because you come on 360, I don't even know if anyone plays on 360 anymore, to be honest. The game is so dead, it's been dead for 3 years. But you would just see people with so many perks, like every perk in the whole entire game on one character. I don't know, it's mind-boggling how fast that game got destroyed and how fast modding became to be the norm. And it's slowly becoming the same for FOC. I haven't been on FOC in a while for 360, but the last time I played it, everyone had colors, which is no big deal. They're just colors, but
yeah, the color modding I got no problem with.
It shows you how easy an access it is.
Yeah, for even the simplest of the files.
Yeah, but mods on FOC are pretty bad compared to legit, considering... No, they're just pretty bad. I fought some modders on FOC with Titan. This person had Reaper and Infinity Finder, and then he also had, what's the other one? Iron Cartridge?
Yes.
But, he still lost, considering that I guess he just didn't know how to play. Skill matters way more in FOC than mods do. On WC, it's complete opposite. Mods overpower skill in WC, but skill overpowers mods in FOC.
I can actually agree to that some. Because half the time on WC, it almost feels like an aimbot is just present. As opposed to the FOC with the splash damage mechanics rather than it being more precise.
Just FOC is more balanced, to be honest. Like, there was this one thing where you can switch your character size to a different class. So basically, you can be a scout. You know the scout size on FOC.
Yeah.
And you know the destroyer size on FOC. We'll take the scout size and put it on the destroyer, and now you're a little destroyer with 300 health with a pulsar, barrier, and chaos rift and everything, right?
Right.
But there's no point in you doing that, but you looking cute because you look hella cute, right? But like you're pretty much useless considering how small you are, and you don't have much health, but you still look cute. That's kind of adorable. It's kind of disorders. Like,
I mean, if you're gonna die real easy, I mean, you're going out looking good.
exactly.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
But with the modding clans, I think 2 years ago the modding clans started really happening. We got the maximums, and then we had the evos, and then we had the I forgot what the other one's called, but it was like basically 3. And then time, passed, and now you have like 7 modding clans fighting it out and whatnot,
Did you
taking
say
each other's members. Yeah, Evo.
Wait, Grims, what?
What does that stand for?
Evo stands for evolution.
What the fuck?
Hey, shush! Wait, we're not bringing those guys over here into this. They're gonna comment on this now.
But he already
You guys
did.
have Evo over there too?
Yeah. Long story
what's up,
short.
dude?
Well, I might as well go balls deep into it now. Okay. Well, long story short, in the era of WFC, modern day, it's a clan where they're trying to rival an older clan, the eldest clan in our WFC's community, the Wreckers, or TW. There's an equivalent to them, whether or not TW wants to acknowledge it or not, called Evo or Evolution. This was a clan founded not in the olden era, but this was around 2014, 2015 when this clan was founded. Founded by a really unique modder, glitcher, hacker, you name it, the jack of all trades that does keep his nose in the mischief, the one they call Ilya Denver, and another player by the name of Top Player 2574. And they founded this really uniquely controversial clan that, granted, does generally have the majority of its players in mischief, but they are all respectfully, decently skilled players in their own right, if not pretty good. That's our equivalent of evolution. It's mainly a WFC clan that did make the effort to try to be an FOC clan and jump shift in order to be a clan for both grids, but it didn't succeed that well, and so it's still kind of sort of an inactive clan at the moment. Members are still around here or there.
Our Evo clan started from Evo Bionic, and he was a pretty good player overall. He was like I guess he was probably one of the best leaders. His aim was perfect on the little pistol. I don't know what the pistol's called anymore. Is it called an Energon pistol?
Oh, the
See, I'm
battle
growing
pistol.
old. I don't even know my names anymore.
Oh, the battle pistol.
He was, yeah, that.
Yeah.
He was his accuracy was extremely precise as that thing, and he was the best leader pretty much on that game, like the best leader class. And he started a clan called Evo. I'm not sure how you guys spell it over there, but it's like
EVO.
basically how they did it is it was a 0, just like a small 0 space EVO, then their name space and 0. So it looked really unique, and you can definitely tell between the Evo players against the other clans, right? I hanged out with them a bit. They were pretty funny dudes. They started having some slight mods, 7 perks and whatnot. We
Yeah.
call 7 perks like baby mods, considering they're pretty weak. But that's what everyone used to have back then. And then they disbanded, and Evo Bionic, the founder of Evo, made a new clan called Solar, and he was known as Solar Blue, and he made the Solars. So that's how. But they were pretty good, to be honest. They had some iffy players, but they were pretty good. I think they would be probably the top 5 best clans on 360. But yeah, they're pretty good.
Okay. Let's see. Let's hop on into this here. Well, question 1. What inspired you to make a difference in the communities you were a part of?
See, I wanted to get better, like how my leader was when I was in his clan because I saw how he played, and I wanted to be as good as him. And I saw how he taught people to play, and I was like, I want to do that, you know. And I got the opportunity to do that when he put me as co-leader, and then I became leader at one point, and I started training people how to play a certain character, and I spent a lot of time, patience, and I did a lot of things just to help them out. Mainly on FOC, where I trained a DTM player. Now, I don't know if you know these guys, but their clan, they don't believe in the Harvester. They don't use Harvester in Titan whatsoever. So they only use Scrapmaker, Corrosive, and ETK, right? I was like, well, dude, if you want to, I see a lot of potential in you, dude, but you gotta use a Harvester if you want to do anything, to be honest, right? So I spent hours and hours every day 1v1ing him with Harvester only, and like showing him how to play, the maneuvers, all the strategies I got, the combos, and he became almost as good as me. It was extremely impressive to see how he became such a shit player with the Harvester to becoming one of the best. And I just like teaching people on how to play because I feel like I'm a very patient person with them. And I say different things than most people. Like, for instance, I told them, don't use the shield when you're first getting with Titan, right? Because everyone uses shield as Titan. It's the best thing to do is to use Whirlwind first, but don't really use Whirlwind. What you want to do is that don't use any of your abilities, because you need to learn how to use a Harvester without you relying on your ability, because people rely on their shield, on their their flag shield way too much in FOC as Titan, and that gets them in trouble every time. So it's always best to practice without the shield, and then gradually move up to the shield where you become better, and where you don't have to rely on your ability all the time, and that shield will become a bonus to you.
That's very interesting that you mentioned that, because in my time in the FOC community, because when I first came in, it was kind of like after the golden era just ended, entering into a newer era, and I noticed in specific clans an older way of training newer people and the newer way of training newer players, and specifically with Titan play, I've noticed that in the newer outlines, they always teach you about it's always taught about trying to be a shield user first. That way you can just get used to the idea or the whole movement of how Titans are. And then opposed to the older way of doing this, where you have those that were trained into being Whirlwind Titan users first. Because I noticed that in the older way of thinking, they turned Titan players that are like the Master Titan players that we know of now in our community. They started them out early by teaching them how to make the Titan into a very destructive weapon of pure offense, rather than trying to have the shield where you can have subtle defense with a gradual offensive climb.
I'm not sure if that's what we did over here, because when
what you're saying.
Literally.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Oh, you can go on if you want.
Oh, what I was saying was it was compare and contrast from our early era as opposed to your early era. Because in our early era, they taught us how to do the Whirlwind Titan users first, and then it shifted to showing how to do Shield Titans. And then once you got good with Shield Titans and you got more confident with playing with Titans, then that's how you start learning Whirlwinds. But over there on Xbox, if I'm hearing that right, they started most of the earlier guys over there started off being Whirlwind users before anything else, and it stayed that way.
Not exactly. I know when FOC first came out on the Xbox, there was a clan on WC called the Metals, and they were super smart in combos and learning new things. Like on WC, this one guy figured out how to do the Superman jump in Scout.
Oh,
which I'm not sure if you know the term over there.
Oh, the triple jump thing? Was like you send you high in the air?
No, not triple jump. No, it's not triple jump, it's Superman jump. Superman jump is where you get your Scout. You time the dash. You're in robot form. Not robot form. You're in vehicle form as Scout, right?
Yeah.
You time your jump and your at a very perfect, precise time where you fly across the map as Scout. All legit, and it's just insane to see them doing it because they were quick scopers, and it's insane how to see them do it and whatnot. And everyone triple jump, but it was just crazy how they did all those maneuvers. Even in scientists, they figured out a way to I can't see that word. Just rapidly, like fly as in robot form. You know how you have the momentum once you transform in WSC as a jet. You have the momentum to continue going. And they did that all the time, non-stop. It was crazy. But basically, they went on FOC. And they figured out things quick. Like they started telling all the other clans how to do this. Basically, the medals were the drug dealers of that time era because they're telling all this juicy information to all these other clans. The medals figured out how to triple jump on FOC. They figured out how to do the faster combo shooting. You can shoot the harvester faster than you normally can. Some other glitches, the scrap maker glitch, where you can shoot your scrap maker faster and you can move faster. It was crazy in the things they came up with. But I noticed back then, no one really used Rordwin. Everyone used shields all the time because you said that on your platform, PlayStation, with Rordwins you were more aggressive, right?
Yeah.
Were there any aggressive shield players that would go straight in with a shield?
Yes, actually, there are a few. There are a few of them.
Alright, well, that's what happened to us. I guess people just taught one another to go straight in with the shield and be fearless and whatnot. No one really used Rordwin because there wasn't as much defense and you couldn't bash anyone. But Xbox was known as basically the Titan realm. Everyone played Titan. Everyone knew the average. Everyone knew how to play Titan averagely, and but there were some smart players who would try not to use the ability. That's how I learned. I didn't use any of my abilities. I didn't use Rordwin or Shield. I was just trying to focus on how to use a harvester and how to, play my move straight and do these movements. Because movement is the most important thing in FOC. Because the dash is so valuable. It's crazy. And accuracy as well. And I learned how to beat people when they were using shields and whatnot by just outmaneuvering them. And then I put the shield on. It's way easier now. But yeah, a lot of people started with the shield, not with the Ward one. No one really used Ward one. It was always the shield.
Okay.
And I noticed that there's Xbox players can do more combos than the PS3 players. Not because of of how you guys think. It's just because of the controllers. I played on PS3 for a day, and holy shit, that was horrendous. Oh my god, I couldn't even do half my combos.
What?
It was really hard. Yeah, it's really hard to play on a PS3 controller compared to an Xbox One. On Xbox One, not Xbox One, on Xbox and 360, the controller was in a way, because on PS3, the triggers are the abilities, right?
Yeah, L2 and R2 and those things, those are abilities.
Yeah, your triggers shoot. Your triggers do abilities, and then your little buttons above are the shooting. I was like, holy shit, this is hard. This is really difficult. Because on Xbox, the triggers, they actually shoot. And that's what you do. That's what you use to shoot. So it's really hard to do half of my combos.
That sounds a lot
really
more
hard
fast paced.
Yeah. Well, not really. It's just I feel like I was way faster on the Xbox than on the PS3. I couldn't even triple jump. I didn't even know how to use the analogs, the joysticks. It was just really. It felt like everything was inverted. That's what it felt like. If anyone's listening to this, go get yourself a Xbox 360 modified PS3 controller. Plug it in. You'll become the best player on PS3. I'm sorry, it's true. The controller is so good. It's just the way it is. It's oh no. I
Oh,
just
wow.
noticed that when I played PS3, it's so hard to do combos on it. And I played with PS3 for a bit too, just to see if I can do anything, but it was just really hard to master any of the combos that Xbox has done.
It was just
Um,
that different from what you were just generally accustomed to.
yeah, I learned things pretty quick, but like it's the button mapping was just completely different from the 360, and I wasn't used to that. And I found myself harder because was it the combo for Titan? You shoot in melee, right? You shoot in melee, you shoot in melee.
Yeah.
On there, you have to. It feels slower on there because I gotta keep reminding myself, hey, I gotta shoot this button, not the other button, because that's just me, right? I'm the one forgetting about it. But all the other combos, like triple jumping and the quick dash, it was just harder to do on there. I don't know. It felt weird. I wasn't accustomed to it. But I just noticed that you can't do as much combos on there. You gotta try out 360 to get a better idea of it. I just think it's a controller.
That might
It
be.
just feels really weird.
Okay, if I can one point, I'll see if I can't try and take you up on that. Just to try it out. Question 2. How has the online community affected you all around?
Man, I had so many fun, memorable moments on FOC and WFC. I met a lot of great people. Met a lot, even people I still talk to now. Like, I met so many friends, so many people that inspired me to be better than I was already, that pushed myself to the limit. All around, it was a really, really great community because it was just so fun and vibrant. Even now, on the Xbox One, like, it's crazy to be honest because everyone's a lot more mature now. Like, you saw the community grow up to be what it is today. Like, you got the good OG players back then that trash talked non-stop to one another, now playing with one another in complete peace because it's over, right? All the drama's over. We're just playing for fun now, and it's just
wow.
and I think I think the community made me more mature, and I think the community made me more smarter on how I play. Because when WC and FOC, I observed everything. I copied everything. I've noticed everything. If you like in 1v1s, if you walk backwards for some reason, I will notice that and try to think, I wonder if he's doing that on purpose or whatnot. Like, it made me think about everything. It's crazy. It's just
The little things.
the little things, yeah. The little things. I think that's what makes you a really good player if you notice the little things. Like, when you're doing 1v1s, clan battles, you gotta scan your opponents so you can learn how to,
How to counter them.
how to counter that, right? Because I've met so many different playstyles. I've met defensive, aggressive, mild tone aggressive, defensive, and you just gotta find ways to counter that. And I think the community just made me smarter, and it's cool how to see people I used to talk a lot of trash to all the time and call them names and whatnot, but now we're actually cool, and we'll have sometimes we'll have community nights, but the community, I think the OG community at the moment is at rest. It's just settled with everyone's beef. I think that's the coolest part at the moment.
That's one of the things I can appreciate about playing a part of being a part of a community for so long, is because as beefs settle and a lot of differences are understood and friendships can be forged or recarved, bridges can be reestablished, people can become friends again or have a better neutral point with each other, and it just becomes a lot more smoother playing the game. It's like, oh, I already know how that's going to all go, and it's all good. And it just adds a more calm feeling than it once was.
Yeah,
A better
it's just
understanding for the love of the game.
yeah. it's so heartwarming to see, because like you see like everyone grow up along. Cause I've been in the community for like 6 years, and I've known some people that have grown up for them to be better. Like I've definitely became a better person. I'm no longer the trash talky person that I used to be like 4 years ago. I'm more of a respectable person. Everyone else too is more respectable, and we just casually have fun now. It's just really cool to see that and admire that.
Okay, I got you.
It's kind of the same on here. I've been noticing that.
You got your chicken nuggets?
What?
You got your chicken nuggets?
I've been both. They've been gone.
Oh, I thought you went back to go heat up some more.
I ain't fat.
No, but you might be hungry for all I know. I mean, hell, I'm sitting here. I'm hungry too. I'm eating food. About to be Christmas Eve. I'm hungry.
I'm full, but I've noticed our community doing it. Like, there's less beef.
Yeah, and it's really neat. Cause I mean, heck, there's been a lot of groups we've been a part of or been on the opposite ends of where beef was just almost like a norm. Where actually at one point there was a beef between a couple of clans that had almost decimated the whole community.
Oh, same. There was this one clan that took over all the other clans, and see, they were called the Cogs. Basically, they were a universal clan for all these other games, right? They were on Gears of War, Minecraft, Call of Duty, right? And they came on Transformers, and you know, we've noticed like a lot of new players are coming, right? We've noticed like 15 new players, 20, 30, 40, 50. I'm not kidding. That clan had a lot of players. It probably had like hundreds of people in all those divisions. It was crazy. And then the leader of that clan wanted to reunite every single clan with one another, which is a big no-no, because you're basically saying you're coming to our game and you're being a dictatorship. Like, that's a big no-no. So
A universal clan merge.
yeah, they wanted to make all the clans in the community into their clan. You know, they wanted to bring all the clans into their clan. They want to own everything, apparently. But they were so bad, but yet they were so new. Like, it was crazy how fast they came and how fast they took over. They took over so many people. Like, they brought so many people from other clans into their clan so quickly. They were literally like a military, because you got people called sergeants, you got people called generals were there, you got people bossing around in this clan and trying to take over little clans. And I remember the clan I was in, the Unknowns, we were just sitting back and watching it all take, and the bigger clans were uprising, and they brought a hashtag that said #rebel, because that's how bad it was, because it was a massive threat. And they had a spokesperson that was such a good manipulator. He manipulated so many people into the cogs, and it was crazy. It lasted for about, I would say, 4 months, until they actually dished away and realized, okay, well, we can't get anyone, so we're just gonna move on to some other game. But like, imagine like an alien coming to your planet and try to take over everything. That's how it pretty much felt on FOC and WSC. It was crazy.
Wow.
It was crazy to see all the clans. All the clans had so much beef. You got the Electros, the Unknowns, the Pax, the MH, the High Voltage, the Lone Wolves, GW, BW. They all reunited, you know, as allies to push back this bigger clan, because they were eating their members and they were starting so much drama, and it was crazy. And it was so cool to see all of the community clan, like the FOC clans, try to make this bigger clan go away, and eventually did. And then everyone went back to their normal and started doing their own thing once again. There's videos of it too, and it's crazy.
I
It's
remember a
crazy.
clan called the Electros because when I was trying to take a look at older WOC clans to try and see if I could do a documentary about them, I remember coming across something called the Electros, and so I definitely hear what you're talking about there. And so what you're
Oh yeah,
saying is, yeah, you know which one I'm talking about, Grims?
yeah. I know another player on PS4 who's from Electro.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Electros has to be one of the most popular clan, mainly because of Sigma and how many people, all the rumors, everyone talked about it all the time, and I guess it got that popular where even now to this day people still talk about it in the community.
We had
Even
a
on there's people on PS3 that's still standing up for them. They don't even know who they
Jeez,
truly
man.
are.
They never saw Sigma fight. They never 1v1 Sigma. I 1v1 Sigma. I've been with the Electras. I've been in their clan for a little bit, you know? Like, it's crazy to see how people, even though people never seen him play, they say he's the best. But they don't know who defeated Sigma or who Sigma fought or whatnot. It's insane. It's because Electros brought in so much drama that they became so popular. So, like, I'm trying to think of as an example. You know Jake Paul on YouTube?
Yeah.
I
You know
don't
how
think I
popular
know.
he is? You know how popular he is because he starts drama? You may not watch his content, but you know him. That's like the same thing with Electros. You may not, ever seen him play, but you know who they are.
because of the drama that he started.
So much drama because Sigma back then. I know. I still know Sigma now. I don't talk to him. He's famous. He's a popular Twitch streamer. He's a popular Destiny streamer now. He's pretty popular now on Destiny. But he was one of those kids that was good at everything. He was good at every single game he touched. He was like a god at every single game, pretty much, right?
I know that feeling.
Like,
Yeah, he was one of those players, right? But when he got WC, he clan hopped pretty much every clan. He was even in my clan. He was in the UnKnOwNs for a bit. He was in the Metals for a bit. I think he was in the Relixes, which was the German clan, and he was in Darksiders, DTMs. I know you guys don't know this clan, but I'm just trying to catch myself up here. And then he made the Electros, and all these kids. I'm serious about kids. They were like 11. They were like 10 to 13. They all swarmed Sigma as if they were their god. Sigma ordered his clan to call him Lord Sigma, not Sigma. Lord Sigma. You must call him by Lord Sigma.
Wow.
You must call Sigma Master Sigma. If you call him Sigma, you're getting kicked. Let me tell you, he kicked out so many people. It was hilarious to see. It was just so funny.
Grims, who do we know like this?
I had someone in my clan that did that to me. He called me Lord Grimlock, the god, his king. I kicked him for being that weird.
No, you kicked him for being that loyal.
That's crazy loyal. That's too much. Have a mind for yourself.
It was crazy though, and Sigma, he kept portraying his clan to be the best clan ever. His clan scored 29-0, which isn't true. He has lost to some clans, so his clan score isn't accurate, to be honest. But he trash talked. He was one of the biggest trash talkers on FOC. That's what he was mostly famous for. He would trash talk all the time.
Man. If you got nothing else, you got trash talking.
Yeah. He was a massive trash talker. He was pretty lame on his comebacks. He just kept spamming the N-word all the time. If you ever said anything, but he was a massive douche. But he was a pretty good player, and I think that's why the Electros are so famous because of Sigma right there. Because his clan members were so loyal because they were just like, oh my god, Sigma. Oh my god, Sigma's here. Sigma, my lord, my savior, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's funny because the clan I was in, the Unknowns, I've been loyal to the Unknowns. I've been in the Unknowns for like 2 years, right? Sigma, he started. Something happened with the Electros and their allies to High Voltage, right? Because they were allies. They were like unified.
Right.
They would help each other in clan battles and whatnot. But they split it. They had their beef. Electro Sigma comes along to my leader of the Unknowns, Unknown Hero. And I remember, because I used to hang out with Sigma all the time. I hanged out with everyone on FOC. I was like a whore on WC and FOC. I hanged out with everyone. But I remember Sigma coming into the party, to the Xbox chat party, right? And he asked Hero, yo, Hero, dude, do you want to start an alliance? And like, I knew what Hero was thinking. He was thinking, this would help my clan so much because the Lictors are the most powerful clan on FOC. But I know Sigma's the biggest fucking asshole ever. And Hero just said, nah, dude, I'm good. And Sigma left the party. And I have so much respect for him because I know he wanted to say yes so bad, but he didn't. It just stuck with my mind. It's just crazy how he did that. I have so much respect for him for doing that. But, and Electros were one of those clans that every 2 to 3 months it would disband in, and they would reunify and disband again and get back together again. They probably disbanded at least 10 times, I would say.
Cockroaches.
You took the words right out of my mouth yet again.
Another thing about Sigma is that he was a really, really good teacher. He was too much of a good teacher, in fact, that he stopped teaching his clan members because he got scared at one point on how good of a teacher he was. He trained 2 people, the most loyalist people, when they first joined Electros. I forgot his name. I know his name now, Brutal, and Electro Ravage, which is now Omega Ravage. He trained those 2 people so good that they almost became as good as Sigma. And he saw that and he was like, oh fuck, I shouldn't train my members anymore like this. So then he stopped training his members like that in general. So, it's crazy how he could have trained everyone like that to be as good as him, but he stopped because he was afraid that someone might become better as him because he kept yelling that he was the best player.
Eventually, that's gonna catch up to him.
But, no, a lot of people say that Sigma has never been defeated. I know a few people that defeated him. Metal Wrath defeated him in Titan. Metal Phoenix is one of the best scientists. Sigma is also one of the best scientists as well. Metal Phoenix, he defeated him in scientists. And UnKnOwNx, which was back then MH Anti-Venom, he was also in the metals. Basically every metal was a good ass player, but he defeated Sigma once in Titan, and I think Beastwolf defeated him. Yeah, Beastwolf defeated him too. So a couple people defeated Sigma, but no one ever wants to say it because they don't believe it.
That's okay. We got our elites that were the elite of elites that people say you can't take them down, but there have been those 1 or 2 behind the scenes that have been able to make the magic happen and made the impossible possible. But it's a mutual understanding and a mutual respect. I mean, as long as they know, or the key people that were there that did witness it saw it, by the end of the day, that's really all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And not just PS3, but also on a couple of PlayStation 4 people we met, surprisingly, came from the Xbox community over here to the PS4 community.
Yeah, 2 people from the same clan.
Yeah, you picked them both. Yeah, you picked them up, didn't you?
Yeah, me and Legion found them. We said hi to each other. That was about it.
Okay. Let me see here. Question 3. What is your stance on hackers and commonplace cheaters?
Oh man, I mean, I can't really say much, to be honest, because I also modded. Oh man, I also modded because it was really simple. It was really easy, and everyone was doing it. It was like the new cool thing in WSC. But as I said before, it was the norm. Legit was a thing, but modding became the normal thing, and you started had to respect players and whatnot. I really, really, really dislike people who mod in a legit game. That pisses me off. If I saw it.
And I can understand that because, I mean, if modding was a norm in a game where mods are like a sense of normalcy, like GTA or Diablo, that's one thing. But on a grid like this where it's not a norm, but it forcefully adapted into a norm, then that's not good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm back. My dog is barking. But as I was saying, I just really do not like people modding in legit games. When I saw a modder in a legit game, when I was playing legit, I would pull out my mods, which are way more powerful, and beat their ass until they left the game, right? Because I just didn't like when people modded in legit games. It's just unfair and it just ruins the game, Like, when I was in WSC, I better not be seeing someone using the poker or using the Omega Missile and some, like, little noobs, right? So, I made a little group called the, the noob protection, basically, where we protected noobs from modders. I don't know, it's a fun little thing.
The Noob Protection Agency?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna see it. You're probably gonna see your game become all modders. It's probably gonna happen. It happened here. The thing is, I'm just really surprised on how slowed down yours is compared to ours. And I guess because Xbox is way easier to mod, but like our game WC died like 3 years ago. You stopped seeing OG players like 3 years ago, and you just started seeing modders non-stop. It's crazy.
We have more of a control over here because we've been making plans to like control public lobbies and against modders.
Yeah, we never had any of that.
Like WCW, they were made to control NOD in public lobbies, harassing the nubs.
Yeah, we never had that. Because most of the modders on here, they were like just stubborn and selfish people who didn't care whatsoever. So they didn't know what skill was. They just started modding because they thought it was funny and cool, and they felt all high and mighty, right?
Right.
So yeah. Can I get a drink of water real quick?
Sure.
No.
Too bad, I'm gonna get a drink of water. So yeah, if you want, you can edit this out. I'll be RB real quick.
Yeah. Okay, and we're back. Alright, starting now into question 4. What is your stance on individuals that have had to bend the rules, seen or otherwise implied, to achieve a goal or prove a general point?
Man. Bending rules and proving a point.
Bending the rules to prove a point or achieve a goal. Like for instance, think of this like a metaphor. Like you're giving a baby its bottle, even though he's wrong.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just so much stuff. There were clans on FOC and WFC, mainly known as TTM, CMW, and everyone more. The Game Breakers GB. They had different roles from the rest of the Xbox community. Basically, let's say FOC clan matches, clan battles. They would particularly pick out no weapons that you can't use, right? You can't use this weapon in the clan battle, or you can't use this ability in the clan battle, or this chassis, right?
So like a CBL League outline.
Like, no Grimlock, because Grimlock is bugged, which is true. He's a glitchy chassis. No Pulsar. Pulsar's OP. No Harvester.
Really?
No Barrier. No Snipe. It was ridiculous because they were pulling out things from the game, which they shouldn't have, right? Because, like, for anyone that's doing that, you're just pulling out the things from the game how it's meant to be. You're changing the game on how it's not supposed to be. You're supposed to play the game on how it is, right? You're not supposed to nitpick these certain things because it just shows how bad you are using those things. Like, if you say no Pulsar because my team can't use Pulsar for shit and we think it's overpowered, and then you're just being an idiot. It makes the game less fun and you're taking away from the game experience. So we would have to, no one fought DTM, no one fought CMW, no one fought GP unless they did those rules. And, like, no one fought them because of that, because it was just so annoying. Because, like, you know, everyone uses Harvester, right? Everyone uses Harvester. You saying no Harvester in a Titan 1v1, it just makes it less
More challenging.
fun. It just makes it boring. Because, like, what are you going to do? You're going to scrap. DTM were atrociously known to be the best scrap maker corner shooters ever. They would corner shoot every tiny centimeter. It was insane now.
Oh, that sounds like insanely annoying.
It was very annoying, right? You would have these 1v1s where scrap maker versus scrap maker and corrosive versus corrosive, and it just dread on so long, over and over and over. It's just
I can see why they put that outline there, or like a subtle outline in order to follow like a gray area of a rule outline. Over here on the PlayStation version, there's that similar rule that had happened back when the Clan Battling League or the Clan War League had first started on War for Cybertron, and then transferred over into Fall of Cybertron, where certain weapons and, well, for WFC it was only a specific weapon or two weapons and specific abilities that were used by certain classes. And for FOC it was what is it? The gear shred, the no gear shredder thing only varied because it wasn't really that overpowered at first. But there are going to be certain clan battles or like a spoken agreement or a spoken contract with another clan or clan leaders where you can agree to have certain things happen in the match within reason. Kind of the way clan battles are done is kind of like a verbal contract, because even though there is an outline for what it is you can and can't use, you also still want to have it understood completely by both of the clan leaders and by extension the clans themselves. That way they are aware of what happens and what can and cannot happen. So if somebody breaks the rules, then you know you are in the wrong. And there are certain times where well, actually for us, for the CBL League that is still going on today, what they have outlawed is for the scouts, you can't use Fire Blast on the scout because it halts the transformation process.
They actually changed the rules. It's like whatever the clans agree on now.
Yeah, they have, but originally how it was like the no Fire Blast you could have, the no CRC that you could have for the destroyers, you couldn't do that. And for scientists, like I said, Gear Shredder varied. And Titans was actually all, you could use them all. They left it like that because during the original era of the gameplay, there weren't any rule outlines, so anybody could go nuts, short of not really favoring items that much, and it wasn't really that big of a deal, because it was downplayed a lot more in the early days than it is now. Because nowadays those rules or outlines they tend to be more enforced because you have newer players that only use that cheap crap and don't really make the effort to do anything else. And so I can understand why they would want to take the time to try to enforce that. Or when clan battles do happen, you want to try and just go right to the basics that is generally understood as a norm. That way people that know this, or people that pretend to know it but would still let it fly anyways in order to have their way, you still want to have it known as a norm. That way everybody knows. So you can't have those cheap players that want to try and come in and work this or that on the side and try and still pass it off as a clean game. It don't fly like that.
Oh, we had rules too. It was just those 3 clans that just... I can see the reason, because in the first beta and the first stage, the FOC Harvester was extremely overpowered. Take, the next generation FOC, right? That's the game before the patches, right? So you can experience everything before patches.
Right.
So the Harvester is really OP. I can see why they removed it, but then they fixed it, and yet they still won't use it. But that's just how they play. They see things that they think is overpowered, and they won't use it, and they pretty much took out the majority of the gameplay. But we've had normal roles for all the clans. Basically, our basic setup was this: no pickups, and 1 of each class. That is it. That is all. If it was a 6v6, it would be, 2 of each class. Never 3 destroyers, never 4 titans. It would only be 2, 2, 2.
Yeah,
so,
max 2 per class.
Yeah, 2 per class, right? So you would have 2 destroyers, 1 scout, 2 healers, and one titan.
Really? Whoa, hold on. Wait, you guys were allowed to have 2 medics.
Basically nothing over 2 of that class, right? So you can have 2 destroyers, 2 titans, 2 healers, or 2 scouts, 1 destroyer, and 1 titan, and 1 healer, and another destroyer, something like that. It's 6v6, right? Nothing over 2. For 4v4s, it would be 1 of each class, never 2 of anything in 4v4s. 5v5s, a lot of people pick 2 destroyers than anything else.
Yeah, you got 1 of every class, and then you got the 1 duplicate.
Yeah, but that was pretty much it. No one said no fire blast and everything. And pretty much everyone played because, I guess, yeah, there are cheap things like the Rift, right? The Rift is, really cheap, right? That was the biggest thing that we would remove in that game, is Rift, because there were people in that game that would non-stop use Rift, and it can obliterate teams.
It does.
Like crazy.
Because you can just hide behind a barrier and boom, just click that button away.
Yeah, but there's a way to counter it, right? So you can't really go bitch about that. Same thing with Fire Blast. You can, it may halt your transformation. Yeah, that's a thing. But it's just as bad as Goo. Goo slows your ass down, and that's hella annoying. EDK does not make you transform either. It's just how the game is, so that's how we let it be. We would only have a few rolls, and then we fire it out like that. So the biggest thing we would remove, though, is Rift. That was the only thing we remove. Everything else was a go. Except for pickups. No one used pickups ever.
We should allow 2 medics on PlayStation. That would open, a strategy book.
It
a
would.
lot more.
It would, but at the same time, it would just be excessively obnoxious.
Well, you would have to have the best medic fight the other medic. You would have to have a medic focus that other medic on the team. That's the thing about strategy, right? Even though the game might seem so, so unfair, because you have all these things going, you barely have any roles in place, right? It shows you on how you can improve and adapt to fight the other team. So say they have 2 healers that are healing the shit out of the destroyer. One of your scientists needs to go sentry and focus those 2 healers, while the 2 destroyers on your team tries to defend and not get obliterated by those 2 healers and 2 destroyers, right? So there's always things you can improve and change. Basically, we had really good snipers on the 360 that would take down healers instantly, even in 2 healer situations, and that's how we countered that. There were other clan battles, 4v4s, they would have no healers whatsoever. They would have sentry instead of healing, because sentry is so goddamn annoying, where it just makes you lose focus, because then you got something in the air shooting you, and then
Especially
you just
in
have someone
Conquest.
rocketing you, right?
Yep.
And yeah.
especially during conquest mode, because that's like it's so good when that happens. You just put that drop there, and you got an instant distraction.
Yeah. We never did any special clan matches. We never did conquest or got pure flag. It was always team deathmatch, 50-50, to determine who was the best clan. But
Did any of them have to go through or see the rules differently in order to do that, or just was a different side of the fence altogether?
we during big clan battles, 4v4s were considered big in my time. In 5v5s, but like we would talk to each other leaders, and we would settle things. Basically, my clan, the Unknowns, we were adaptive. We could do anything really, so we would let them make the rules up, right?
Right.
And we would say, okay, we understand. We'll let you do this first match, right? You get the map choosing, and you get the rules choosing. You'll do that, right? And we let them have the match first their way, right? And then the second match comes along, and we're like, okay, so we're gonna do it this way, and we're choosing this map. And that's how we did it sometimes. It was basically best of 3. Whoever won 2 out of 3, then it was considered a clan victory. But yeah, that's how we did it a lot. There was no... We did see eye to eye in clan roles and whatnot, and like clan matches, but like no one really complained that hard where we had to change the game completely, except for those 3 clans I mentioned earlier, like GP, CMW, and DTM, because that was basically their religion right there with those rules. We just played in how the game was. That's how we played it.
Okay. So I guess how the rule set were over there was just basically based on perspective, and that whole thing was kind of, I guess, open range. So like, there wouldn't really be any rules to be bent, since the rule outline was only specific for specific matches, or depending upon the imperatience or the importance of the match or the people involved.
Oh yeah, I mean, there was common rules like do not use Rift on Spire because you're gonna make the game lag super hard and it's just a death zone. But yeah, the basic rules was 1 of each class and no pickups. Everyone knew that, so that's what we went by.
Okay. Question 5. Does leaderboards hold sentimentality for you?
Yeah, it does. Sadly, I'm not sure if you guys experienced it too, but there was this one time, I think in 2015, where the servers were down for like 3 weeks and whatnot on FOC and WSC, and when I got back, I couldn't play on my main account anymore. And I knew 2 other people that were like that too, where for some reason our accounts cannot like go into the multiplayer for no reason. We weren't banned or anything.
Whoa.
It was just glitched and bugged out. And I couldn't, my leaderboard stopped there at like 30,000 something kills, and maybe been 40,000, and like 8,000 something deaths, right?
Right.
And the only way I can play FOC is by making other accounts, right? So that's another thing that I'm famous for, is by having all these accounts. And I calculated all my accounts, because pretty much every account I had 10,000 kills and 1,000 deaths or 2,000 deaths.
Yeah.
I even made a goal for myself one time, which was really fun. I tried to. My goal was to hit 1,000 kills below 100 deaths, and I actually managed that. But I calculated all my kills and deaths, and my race and my KD is 100,000 and 20,000, 120,000 kills and 11,000 deaths, or 12,000 deaths. So leaderboards do matter to me, because it records everything, right? It just sucks that my main account had been like, for some reason, glitched and bugged out. But I knew people that there was this one guy. He's a good friend. His name is Beast Wolf. He's one of the best Titans on FOC 360, and he lived and breathed that leaderboard every single day. Like, he would go into that game and try to be the best he was. If he got killed more than 4 times, or even 3, he would leave the game to reset his KD. He was that intense about it.
Oh,
Right?
yes.
Right?
Yo.
And I think in the first year, or in the I think it was a year and a half, where I think it was a year and a half, maybe it was just a year. He hit 100,000 kills. He was number 1 in the leaderboards in TDM. And that 100,000 kills in 1 year, that's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah.
And one day, his stats went missing on the leaderboards. They were gone. They were no longer there. He was so pissed off. He made a video about it. Everyone in the community saw it. He was crying about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally like almost like a life's work gone.
I know, and he was crying about it. He was so devastated about it. And I was new at that time. I was still in WC. I didn't even touch FOC because I did not like FOC back then. I was like, what the fuck is this kid crying about? But like, it was so crazy to see that. But he tried to climb all the way back up. He was number 1 in Conquest. I think he's still number 1 in Conquest. But yeah, he had to reset his KD. His KD got reset, and he had to try all over again. He was so pissed off, so mad. So yeah, KD does really matter, I think, because it records your history and all those times you've had, and just shows you how much kills you can get without dying, right? Unless you're going to leave the game every 3 deaths, and you're pretty much a pussy. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, I never did that. That's crazy.
But man, I guess for your friend, leaderboards meant that much to him.
Yeah, he breathed and lived and ate and shit out leaderboards nonstop.
Yeah.
He was a very competitive player. I even have a video on my channel about me 1v1ing him on Titan on the Xbox One version. So yeah, I have that video.
Ooh.
If you want to watch it, the channel is called Navox, Navox.
Oh, by all means, do send me a link when you can, and I will definitely check it out.
Yeah, I'll show you. So yeah.
Let me see. Question 6. Have you had the chance to play for a clan or a gaming group of friends?
Yeah, I did. The first clan I've ever made. Because my track record is pretty simple. I was in UNPS, which was my first clan. It was pretty newbie. And then I joined the Unknowns, which is probably the best clan I've ever been. That's where I met Legion, Unknown Hunter. Good friends with him. We treat all the time.
Wait. Would this happen to be our Legion over here on PS3?
Yeah, should be.
Oh, wow. Okay, because he goes by the tag
he's
Mr.
unknown.
Vazian over here. So he was an unknown over there. That tag, the Hunters, was his original account on Xbox.
Yeah, unknown hunter. We would train all the time, like 5 hours a day, every day in Titan. It was crazy, man. And after that, right, 2 years, it disbanded. You know, things move on, right? I wasn't in a clan for a while. I was a freelancer. I would help people out. I liked helping people. I like training. I feel like I'm a really good teacher because I have the patience and I know the knowledge. And then I joined VNT, which was the original founder of the MH, which was Metal Heroes. So I joined VNT, and then after that, I joined the Metals. I joined the Metals through Gears of War and WSC and whatnot. I knew the medals way before that. I knew the medals like when I first started playing WC. I might be going off track here, but there's just so much to say. But like,
Yeah.
but when I first started on WSC, right? Because it was my first game on the 360, dude. It's crazy. I don't know why. Oh, I didn't know it because the demo, the first demo I had was the WC demo. It's a multiplayer demo, and I fell in love with the multiplayer demo so much I got the game. But anyway, I got the game, and then these two people, Mineral Siege Titan and Metal Tempest, and they had their little buddy along, UnKnowNxFyRe, too. And I was just a noob, dude. I didn't know shit, man. I was just a noob. But they picked me up, dude, and they were like, yo, this is how you do this is how you do that. We're gonna show you all these cool things. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, they're just showing me all these things, even though I'm just a flatline noob. I'm just a noob, dude. I don't know anything about any of this stuff, and it was so cool how respectable and how, like, nice they were to show me all this stuff, right?
Right.
Because I was a nobody, right? I was a nobody back then. And then, like, I asked if I could join the medals back then, but, like, then I lost my WFC broke, so I couldn't join. So I had the opportunity to join, but my WC broke, and I couldn't play for, like, 5 months, which really broke my heart. As, like, a 13-year-old, I think I was 12 at the time, a 12-year-old kid, that hurts, right? Miss playing your favorite game. But, like, anyway, after VNT, I joined the medals, and I got in contact with the two people who picked me up. And you're like, yo, dude, do you remember me? And you're like, oh my fucking god, yeah, dude, we totally remember you. You can join. You don't even need to do a tryout whatsoever. We know you. So they picked me up. It was so cool to have that experience. But anyway, from medals, I was in medals for a while. Mainly played Gears of War, because WC and FLC were kind of dead, and they didn't try that. So Gears of War and Titanfall 2. And VNT disbanded. Basically because of me, because I fucked everything up. I made the clan too big where I couldn't control it anymore, so I disbanded it.
Oh, wow.
Because it was mainly an FOC clan, right? Run by Venom, MH Venom. I'm pretty sure you know his channel, right? He has a popular FOC channel. He does so many things.
This I have heard of.
MH is the best clan on FOC, no doubt about that. MH, Electros, the pack, and medals. All you need to learn about. But anyway, he was inactive for a while, so he told me, you know what, dude, you can be the leader. I'm like, I got you, man. So I was training all these new members. All these members were coming. I was training them day by day. That's when I picked up that one guy from DTM that I talked about earlier. When he didn't know how to use Harvester, right? That's when I picked him up. And then I was like, you know what? I am going to see if I can make VNT. VNT will stand for Vendetta, by the way. I'm going to see if I can make VNT into a WFC clan. So I got in contact with some homies on WFC, like, hey man, you want to join VNT? If you do, dude, you can be the leader of this division on WFC. And he was a modder as well, but he knew how to play legit. And that happened. And the first month, we probably had 50 members on FOC and WFC. And it was getting so crazy, I didn't even know who was joining and who wasn't joining, right?
That's good
I didn't know
publicity.
who was leaving and who was joining. And it was pissing me off at the WC division. The WC division really pissed me off because he took things to his own hands. Because when I went on there, I was popular as fuck because I was a leader. But like, I saw all these people I didn't even know with the name, with the letters VNT in their name. I had no idea who they were. So I spoke to the leader of that division. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this, dude? All they know is how to mod. They can't even play legit. Because that was the rule. If you want to join VNT WFC, you need to do a tryout to see if you can play well enough legitly.
Yeah,
And
before
they
you
were
go
straight
messing
up
around.
modding. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? So I was kicking people. And we were doing clan matches. We were doing a lot of clan matches because we were the biggest clan at that time. And it was insane. And I told Venom, MH Venom, the founder of VNT, dude, you need to disband this clan because I can't even control it anymore, and it's becoming a dump. Because VNT meant something to me, and now it's nothing to me. And he disbanded that day, and VNT was gone. And he's like, dude, I liked MH better anyway. So he started up MH, and I joined the Metal Heroes. And I'm still kind of in it. I won't really say I'm not in anything, but I'm still with my boy Venom, dude. We're like brothers. I've been in his clan for like 2 years. So, and then when MH started to be inactive and whatnot, I made my clan, my first clan, called the Dawns. How this originated was, I made a new account because I kept making new accounts considering I couldn't play on my main. So I made a new account called, Mr. Black Dawn. And I like that name, dude. Mr. Black Dawn? That's a cool ass name, bro. And one of my friends were like, dude, I can be Mrs. Red Dawn, dude. I was like, that's a cool name, dude. Like, the Dawns? Why not? It's a simple name. It's a simple name, and the names look cool, like Red Dawn, Blue Dawn, White Dawn, Black Dawn, and whatnot. So that's when I made my first clan, the Dawns. So I had Black Dawn was me, Blue Dawn, White Dawn, Red Dawn, Grey Dawn, Orange Dawn, and whatnot. And that's when I first made my clan, and they were all group of friends from VNT, and that's when I first started to have a clan from VNT. And it was funny on how I got all of them. How I got Blue Dawn was he was on WSC, and I joined his party chat where everyone can talk to, and I was just, their party was filled with modders that I hated a lot, and I called them all trash. I was trash talking them, and apparently he found that funny, and he was like, yo dude, I'm gonna add you. Like, sure man. And then we started hanging out a lot, and now he's like one of the best, he's the best friend of mine now, and he's still with me to this day. With the other members, we kind of had beef. We kind of saw different ways, because I recruited this kid that I really regret, because it ruined a lot of things for me. He wasn't just a modder, he was a shit modder, but he was a booter. He would DOS attack people. He would make your router lag and boot you offline.
Damn.
And I didn't believe it at first, right? Until I actually saw him doing it. And he did it to me a couple of times, and I got scared, because he kept saying my IP address. And I'm like, dude, you need to stop doing this.
Because he knows your router address.
Yeah, and like, a leader is supposed to be in control of his clan and supposed to be the power. He's supposed to say the final say. He has the final say. He makes all the decisions and whatnot. I didn't have that power anymore once I invited him in. I no longer had that power. He was more powerful than me because he can boot me offline. And it became at the point where White Dawn and Orange Dawn, they started like him more, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I disbanded the clan because of that, and I removed him. And the last time we spoke was like, what, probably 4 months after that. I got an Xbox One. I was playing Overwatch and whatnot. They invited me to a party, and they were like, yo dude, Overwatch is a new FLC, dude. We can start up our clan again. This was from the kid that I regretted, right? His name is VNT iWars. And while he was saying this, he booted me offline because he thought it was funny, and I blocked him, and he started booting me. He was throttling my internet for 4 days straight.
Because him constantly interacting with him kept messing with your own internet just as a norm.
Yeah, right. And I blocked him, right? And I was ignoring him. I didn't say a thing to him. I was ignoring him because I knew if I said something, this would last even longer. So 4 days after, no communication, it stopped. I was like, oh my god. And then I lost a friendship with one of my best pals, White Dawn. White Dawn's a guy that I trained up to be one of the best Titans. And now he's no longer with me, and it sucks, dude, because you invest so much time with a person, and then you lose it. It just sucks, but yeah. But at the end, I did start a clan with a group of friends to answer your question.
Okay. And then I guess for extension, since you have started a clan and you were a part of a few of them, how has the clan scene or the combat scene evolved your perspective on being with the community?
Hmm. Back in the Unknowns, the Unknowns were a WC clan first. We had the OG Unknowns. I'm one of the OG Unknowns.
Okay.
Unknown Hunter, Unknown Navox, me, McLovin, Love to Punish, Unknown Hero, Hunters, different person, Unknown Phoenix, and there was another Unknown Phoenix which says Blue Dawn, and there's another person that I'm forgetting, Unknown Slayer, and Black Mamba. We were a WC clan. We moved to FOC, and we were really successful at moving to FOC. Everyone was joining the Unknowns, right? And I've seen the clan combat evolve so much where it was first a 6v6 every time, began to be a 2v2 every time. And it's sad. It's sad, dude. Because 6v6 and 5v5s were no longer becoming the norm. It was always 3v3s or 2v2s. And it was just really sad to see how much, people went away with it, and how many clans died off. Because when I made my clan to Dawns, there was only 2 other clans. There was High Voltage, which is an OG FOC clan, and then there was the modding clan, which is Cybertronian Knights back then. They were modding, massive modding clan and whatnot. And we didn't have anyone to fight. And it was pretty stale. I'm assuming in your community, right? You have people to fight. You have clans to fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many clans you got over there?
Presently, we have
6, 7.
Yeah, I want to say about 6 or 7 of them, because earlier this year I know we lost 3 of them.
Damn.
Starting into this year, I know we had about easily a good 10 to 12 of them. And then at the end of this year, going at the end of 2017, we have about a strong 6 to 7 of them.
I see, that's so much better than Grid of 360, man, because we started losing clans like crazy. And at the end of the day, it was Dawn, High Voltage, and the modding clan for at least a year with no new clan activity, because all these noobs were not being trained by anyone. And the thing is, when average players, actually that's not true, there were demons as well, I forgot about them, Demons, High Voltage, Dawns, and the modding clan, Cybertronian Knights, but all the average players would not make a clan. They would join the existing clans, right? So all your average players will go into the demon clan to learn more. Once they got better, they were like, okay, well, I think I'm better than all these other people in this clan. I'm either going to go to High Voltage or Dawns, because Dawns, my clan, we were very strict about skill. If you didn't, I would only recruit people that I saw potential in, and I knew that could get better. If you were lacking skill, or if you were getting too rusty, I would kick you out, no doubt, because I was strict. But they would move to High Voltage or Dawns, and we had that happen. It was weird. So basically, it's like school, right? You go through elementary, middle, high school to college.
Yeah.
Demons were high school, Dawns and High Voltage were college. But no one would make a new clan. And that's how the game died off, because no one would make a new clan.
Nobody took that risk.
No one. I even told players, hey dude, you should make your own clan. They're like, no, I'm gonna join demons. It's like, okay, you do you, man. There were some clans that kind of originated, but they fell so far because, I don't know, I guess people kept beating them up.
And there may be a chance, 'cause I remember when there were a couple of newer players that came in a new clan community. Newer clans happened in our community. There was a thing about, even though you do have the opportunity to start your own clan, it doesn't always mean that you should, because there's a whole other sense of responsibility that goes into having that sense of power, that not a lot of kids at that point will understand, or may grow to understand or respect or appreciate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, I was thinking about, like, you know what? I should just bring in noobs just so they can get better. But like, who am I gonna get? No one was interested. All these people were just tiny kids, dude. They were like 8 years old. Who am I gonna get, man?
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I disbanded Dawn, and I just started a 2v2. I had a 2v2 partner, which was Beast Wolf, which we would train all the time. You know, I would beat him in Titan 1v1s, he would beat me in Titan 1v1s. You gotta understand, he's like one of the best Titan players ever. He's so aggressive and he's so smart. It's ridiculous, right?
Damn.
And we would do 2v2s against other people, and that's what we did. We just did 2v2 matches, and we have an undefeated score of like 22-0 in Titan battles and destroyers or whatever and whatnot. But it's sad to see how, because your platform is still vibrant, there's still life to it. Ours is dead. There's no one else really. There's just modders now. There's not even that many modders anymore. I don't even know what's going on. I've lost interest.
People lost the interest to actually be good at the game. That way you can then afford to dick around, rather than just dick around all the time.
Yeah, but not only that, it was because people stopped playing and there's not enough players to like dick around with, right? Like, it's sad because there's still, for some odd reason, there's still more 360 noobs on 360 than on the Xbox One version. But like, there's like probably, I would say there's only 20 active noobs playing 360 at the moment, and like 5 average players, I would say. I guess. That's how bad it is. It just sucks. Because like, I came in FOC and I was so alive, and then I saw it die. And I knew a lot of people were really secretive about their skill. I was too. I'll admit. Even my clean leader, Unknown Hero, he could have. I remember he won't even teach us half the things in Titan because he was afraid that we would become better than we should have. Same thing with my members. I was training to a point where they almost got better than me. I was like, oh shit, and I started to realize that this is crazy. And I guess a lot of people no longer want to do that, right? And training became really weird too. The training session, because the other clans, the Demons, which became a big clan, they had like 20 members at one point because they were just picking up random people. Their training was really weird. They wouldn't. Training in their eyes is 1v1ing non-stop without speaking. Training in my eyes is 1v1ing while explaining on what I am doing and what they are doing wrong, right?
Right.
And that's why the Demons, they never got better. Because they weren't smart enough to acknowledge what was going on, and because their teacher did not teach them on what they were doing wrong. Right, so, yeah. It changed a lot.
Damn, like, time changed your perspective on being in the community a lot.
It did. It was weird because, I started as a noob. I don't want to brag or anything, I'm not trying to brag. I started as a noob, and then I became one of the best players on FOC. Not only because, it was because of time. It was because all the best players started leaving, right? And that's how I became the best player. Some of the best players like Beast Wolf came back, and I tested my skill. I remember that day. I was Mr. Black Dawn, he was Beast Wolf, right? I heard he was coming back. I was like, holy shit, this is my time to shine, to see how good I am against a real good player. Because I have no idea how good my skill level was. Because I was at the point where I was so good that I couldn't tell if I was that good against like the OG players, you know? Because I kept beating everyone up. In the modern time, I want to see if I was good enough for the old players. So I fought Beast Wolf, which was an OG master, a Titan. And it was such a sweaty match. It was such a close match. And after that, I lost. It was like, I forgot the score. It was really close. I think it was like 10 to 8. 10 to 8, 20 minutes. And I finally realized I am one of the best Titans now. It's just crazy to realize that, too, to be honest. Because I didn't think I was that good until I fought him. But then I started getting better where I started beating him in 1v1s, but yet he would still always kick my ass. But yeah, it's a weird sensation. It's a weird feeling. I didn't get better right away, but I get better over time because you have more logic, you have more time, experience, and whatnot.
Yep.
You can't get better in you can't become the best player in 2 months. It took me like 4 years just to become good, dude. 4 years. So
I can understand that. For me on my end here, I guess it kind of took me like almost 2 years, just a little over 2 years before everything started becoming a lot more solid, and I don't lose as much. I win a little bit more here and there. It's like I balance out.
yeah. Yeah. And I guess Xbox is more known for the Titans, considering everyone played Titan. No one else would play anything else but Titan. So for training, we would have 12 players in a game. It would be on Ray. Unknown Hero would say, or anyone really, people would say the person would choose a player versus another player in a section of that map, and they would fight it off. So you're in a game where there's 6 1v1s going on at the same time. And it was really good practice because, well, one, you can't always get the health all the time because other people are grabbing the health, and you can't always get the ammo, so you gotta supervise, you gotta do other things and whatnot. And it was just such a cool experience because, like, you're doing 1v1, but you're with people, it's like a family. You're all practicing.
Yeah,
It was cool.
that's a good way to look at that.
We should do that.
Train
Yeah,
together,
it's simple, dude.
train together like a family.
It's
What?
simple.
Like train together like a family, you mean, Grims?
Well, I mean, like, when, like, 1v1s in general, like, give people in, like, one lobby and, like, get sections of the map and just fight on that section.
Oh, we do that every now and again. It's just we just don't do it as commonly as what he's describing.
Yeah.
That would be cool, though.
Yeah. Okay. I don't see why we can't experiment with that a little bit more on PlayStation 4, especially with the opportunity to have in the party chats, so that way we can always stay vocal with one another and just be aware of who's where and what, as opposed to on PS3 where you can still have the same amount of people in the lobby, but you won't be able to be as vocal. You'll only be as vocal with those that are on your side of the team. Question 7. What's more important to your perspective on enjoying the adventure offered in the gameplay? Friendship or power itself?
Oh, man. I would say both. Not gonna lie. I kind of got a high for beating people up. But, I met a lot of friends on WC and FOC because I've been there for so long. I have my best friends of today from that game. Like, because loyalty, right? And, I met so many cool people. I met so many inspiring people. I met so many smart people. So many different people, right? Like, I've been inspired to be as good as Unknown Hero because he's one of the best Titans I've ever knew. He was even better than Beast Wolf. And I can't even beat Beast Wolf all the time, so he was so good. But I inspired to beat him because he was so smart. Not just he was just so smart. He calculated. He actually thinked before he did anything, and that's what I want to do. That's where I got I would 1v1 people using hover while they use barrier because I did not want to rely on barrier all the time because I saw it from him. He would sometimes, to improve his accuracy, he would only use vehicle rockets and 1v1s. and Destroyer, well, you can use Pulsar, Rift, Barrier, and whatnot. You'll just stay in vehicle form the entire time. And you will still kick your ass somehow. I inspired to be that. I inspired to only use my vehicle rockets against anything. There would be some games where I want to even transform, just so I can have better accuracy, right? It inspired me to be like that. And that's why I'm today. I feel like I'm a better teacher. I'm a better leader because of him, because I saw how he is. I've been everywhere for WC and Navox. I've seen all of it. I saw Sigma. I've seen UnKnOwNx. I've seen Urusol. I've seen Bionic. Sylvanus. That's some other people I can't name at the moment. But like, and I saw how they've all played. And it inspired me how to like, I've taken some things from them and I made it my own. On their play style and their way of thinking. But I met a lot of cool friends in that game. And at the end of the day, even today on Xbox One, we would have lobbies where all the OG players come together for no beef and we still play. Even though the Xbox One version is complete utter shit. But yet we would still play. And so I think friendship really does matter at the end of the day. I think friendship is more important than power. Because you might have power, right? And you might become the best player on that game. But at the end of the day, you're going to be a total douchebag to everyone else. And where no one will like you. Or no one will say, I do not want to 1v1 you because you're a total asshole. Right?
Man, I've seen that situation many a day.
Yeah, so friends are more important than power.
I agree wholeheartedly. There's no sense in being a good player if you can't share it with friends. And just, it goes back and forth.
Cough Sigma. Cough.
Yeah. Okay, and next going into question 8 and the final question of the panel. What is your advice to the newer generation of players seeking a great online adventure to be had?
With the new players, I notice on the Xbox, the new players, they're more of assholes. I don't know why. They just think they're better than everyone for some reason until you put them in their place. But for the new players, I think just try to be respectful to the old players, because the old players will know way more than you. And you need to be friends with the old players too, because they can teach you so much, right? And try to make friends. Just try to make friends and try to start your own clan, you know? Just try to be respectful, try to have fun, and just don't take it serious all the time, because then you're just gonna get pissed off all the time. Then you're just gonna rage quit and never touch the game ever again. But like, just be respectful, and just respect the community. Really, don't try to change the community. Just respect it. Until you get better, until you learn more, then you can start doing things, you know? Because I've seen new players on 360 where they just came in on FOC or WC and they were like, I have my little buddies and we're going to start a clan and we're going to trash talk everyone. You can imagine on how that went. No one liked them and they started losing every game. I think new players should just be respectful and try their best, copy what other players are doing, so you can get a better idea of what's happening, what's in the meta, and you know, just respect the community.
Okay, I believe those are some good words to live by, because it takes respect to get respect.
Yep.
Alright, well, Navox, I do appreciate your time here this evening and doing this podcast segment and sitting down and doing this for me. And ACW Grimlock, I do appreciate in helping to set this up.
Yeah, it's a pleasure talking to you and sharing the Xbox history and how we do things and how it is. And I really hope that, you know, your platform doesn't turn out like ours, because we were really unfortunate on how things became to be. So I hope the best for you guys, you know.
we will still continue to make a difference here and there and try to promote positive and respective gameplay if and when we can. That way, it's okay to dick around behind the scenes, but in pub and whatnot, don't try to disperse it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a pleasure being on here.
Okay, and I thank you for taking the time. Well, viewers, you heard it firsthand from the Xbox side of the fence here in comparison to the PlayStation side of the fence. Compare and contrast as you will. For any questions, comments, or concerns, by all means, leave them in the comments section below. You guys have a good one, and as always, till all are one.